Today we're going to talk about the factoring strategy, factor by grouping. We use this strategy when we have 4 or 5 or 6 or more terms in our polynomial and they have nothing in common across all of the terms. So the strategy is to find a way to split them up so that the terms we have grouped together have something in common, and what we factor out leaves us with a polynomial that is the same for each part. You'll see as we go through this. For example, here's a 4-term polynomial. The most common way to divide a 4-term polynomial is into 2 terms and 2 terms. Make sure that the plus sign stays with the 6. Okay, these first 2 terms have y squared in common, leaving y plus 2. These second 2 terms have 6 in common, actually a positive 6 in common, leaving y plus 2. Notice we've gone from 4 terms that had nothing in common to 2 terms that have y plus 2 as their greatest common factor. So we're going to take y plus 2 out, and that will leave us with y squared plus 6. So the final form of this answer would say y plus 2 times y squared plus 6. Okay, let's try that again. All right, we have 4 terms that have nothing in common. I'm going to divide them into 2 and 2. The negative goes with the 10, so the minus sign goes with the 10. These first 2 have x squared in common, leaving 5x plus 7. These next 2 have 2 in common, but if I just factor out the 2, I'm going to have negative 5x minus 7, which isn't the same as 5x plus 7. So I'm actually going to factor out negative 2. That will leave me with positive 5x plus 7. Then 5x plus 7 and 5x plus 7 common to both, 5x plus 7, leaving me with x squared minus 2. So my final answer, 5x plus 7 times x squared minus 2. Let's go again. 4 terms, I'm going to divide in half. Z squared, leaving 3z minus 4, plus 6, leaving 3z minus 4. Now they both have 3z minus 4 in common, leaving z squared plus 6. Okay. These have x squared in common, leaving x minus 5. These have 7 in common. If I factor out just positive 7, I'm going to have negative x plus 5, which is not the same. So I'm going to need to do this a little differently. I'm going to factor out negative 7. That will leave me with x. And negative 7 divided from positive 35 leaves negative 5, because negative 7 times negative 5 would be positive 35. Now I've created x minus 5 as the thing they have in common. X minus 7 if I factor that out. Okay. These have nothing in common. Sometimes that works. I can just take out a 1, right? They have nothing in common except a 1. These have m in common. Wow, those are nothing like each other. So that wasn't right. Sometimes when the problems get a little more tricky, what we end up doing is rearranging the terms. And it's not often, but sometimes we have to rearrange the terms. If I put m squared and 7m together, I would end up with factoring out an m plus 7. I think I'm going to do that. M squared first plus 7m second. Then I'm going to put my 2mp plus 14p. Those are my same four terms, but in a different order. If it doesn't work, I'll rearrange again. But I think I've got something that's going to work here. These two have m in common, leaving m plus 7. These two have plus 2p in common, leaving m plus 7. So I've got my common m plus 7, and then what's left over is m plus 2p. And you might say, wow, I couldn't do that. You just keep trying different arrangements until it works, or until you've tried everything and you know it doesn't work.